Hey Sibs! One of the most interesting things about our trip to London was the combination of the very old with the very new we saw everywhere we looked. Like, the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben are right across the river from the London Eye. Winchester Cathedral stands facing newly built glass office buildings. Of course, Winchester Cathedral itself is a mere 100 or so years old, but then there's the Tower of London. The oldest part of it, the White Tower, was built by William the Conqueror after he led the last successful invasion of England in 1066, so it's nearly 1,000 years old. It stands just outside the City of London, which is 1,000 or so years older than that, since it was originally founded by the Romans. The City of London is actually not the same thing as London. See the excellent video by C.G.P. Gray explaining this. I've linked in the doobly-doo. Despite its age, the City of London is all about modern big business, or maybe because of its age. The Lord Mayor and Aldermen who govern the City of London are elected by the trade guilds, according to laws dating back to the Middle Ages, and of course guilds now means corporations. The City of London is filled with new skyscrapers, with more being built all the time. We saw lots of cranes in operation. The most impressive buildings have descriptive names like the Gherkin, the Cheese Grater, the Walkie Talkie, and the Shard. The Shard is incredibly tall. When it was built in 2009, the Shard was the tallest building in Europe. On the other hand, during the construction of the Walkie Talkie in 2013, the sunlight reflected from its curved side created so much heat it melted a parked car. At least temporarily, people started calling it the Fry Scraper, and it won the 2015 Carbuncle Cup for the worst building in the UK. See links in the doobly-doo. Simon found these buildings much more interesting than the old ones. The best place I found to film these buildings, though, was atop the dome of St. Paul's Cathedral. The current building is only around 300 years old, because the original building was destroyed by the Great London Fire of 1666. Although it was constructed of stone, the heat of the flames made stones explode and melted its lead roof to run down the streets. Now, Salisbury Cathedral celebrated the 750th year since its consecration in 2008. It houses the best preserved copy of the Magna Carta, the document protecting the rights of the church and the aristocracy from abuse by the crown. It's just a bit older than the cathedral itself. Bad King John of Robin Hood fame was forced to sign it in 1215 when the barons revolted against his oppressive rule. But this is a modern working church. One of the church's entrances was filled with curtains of electric lights, I believe part of a fundraising art project. Inside we saw decorations made by the church's children, which I sadly failed to film, and electric light decorations like this one next to centuries-old monuments. Of course, the oldest thing we saw was Stonehenge. It's more than 4,600 years old, but the kids said it was just a pile of rocks, and in a way, that's all it is now. The most interesting places are the ones that are still being used as they have been for centuries. Well, until next time, stay shiny.